Welcome everyone. Can you hear me? Uh, Welcome everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. We will begin. Um, good. So let's begin. Firstly, thank you so much for joining today's webinar. My name is Neha and I'm the sales executive at Varsalor. Just giving you a brief about Varsalor. Varsalor, we're a marketplace for software and we help you in selecting and implementing the right software for your business. And we deal with various different software and Sage is one of them. So today's webinar is a series of webinars which is going to come in future, like in the coming few weeks. Today's webinar is first of many. We'll be conducting today's webinar. It's going to cover most of Sage 50's features and more functions about Sage 50, the accounting software. And now, without any further delay, let me just pass it to Anil. He's our Sage 50 consultant. Our Anil presenter today, he's the lead Sage consultant, and he will help you go through the Sage 50 features and functions. And in case you have any other questions or any questions in between the webinar, you can ask your question on the top panel where you see a question mark, and you can ask your questions there and let us know if you have anything to ask in between. Yeah, Ayat, begin.
Hi, good afternoon. This is Anil. I'm Sage consultant. So today I'm here to demonstrate the software, which is Sage 50. This is suitable for the mid segment and small segment, basically for based on the requirement of the customer. So directly I'm moving to the software. I'm hoping that all of you can hear my voice. Hello. Thank you. Uh, anybody, all of you can hear? Can I start the demonstration? Hello. Okay. Anyway, I hope that all of you can hear my voice. So here, this is also actually today we are here to demonstrate Sage 50 Accounts UK edition, which is the flagship product of Sage for the mid segment and small segment. Basically, the software is designed for one moment, please. I think there is problem. Can't hear me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Basically, the software is designed for various industries like manufacturing, trading industry, construction, banking. I assume that my voice is getting break. Sorry for that. This is fine. This is a good option to breaking. If it is breaking, then I don't think I'm going to do it. If it is breaking, then it won't be a nice thought. Even it won't be. It's not because of that. Hello. Hello. Is it connected? Hello. Can Okay, fine. So I think there is some disturbance in the connectivity. But let me proceed. And so I will start the demonstration now. So basically, the software is for the different type of industries like manufacturing, trading, service organizations, or that okay, let me Ah, so let me start the basic functionality of the software. I doubt that there is some problem in the connectivity. That's why I'm also sometimes, getting distracted. So in the left, if you look at these application, this is a Sage 50 UK edition. So look at, if you see the left-hand side tabs, you can see all the modules there. So I will just explain to you what are the modules there in the system. So these modules can be implemented based on the customer's requirement or in which industry the customer is into. So the first module is a AR module, which is account receivable module, which will start from customer quotations, order, and invoicing. The second next module is AP module, which is accounts payable, start from supplier, LPO, GRN, and purchase invoice. So, and next is product and services, which is linked to the both the modules. And next we have banking module, and then we have financial module, which is nominal codes and transactions, where we can generate all financial reports and chart of account and all other financial functions like budgeting, setting up prepayments, accruals, comparison of financials, comparative profit and loss for the current year, previous year. These all options and all financial reports are available in the financial module, which is nominal codes and transactions. And the next important module is the VAT module, which is the key functions in the application, and this is completely suitable for the VAT requirements in UAE. So it's a complete automized module where you will be able to reconcile your VAT transactions, and you will be able to process the VAT submission and all automatic entries, which are all automatic entry means the financial entries for the or VAT submission. This all is automatic. It's a full-fledged module to manage your VAT requirements. And Sage 50 UK edition is one of the software which is accredited by FTA in the first level. Of course, the all Sage products are accredited by FTA, other than the US edition, which is not compatible for the UAE market. So next we have fixed asset module, which will help you to run automatic depreciation instead of and you can have FA schedule, and you can have FA register, and which can be allocated to users, and there is FA related transactions you can manage in the FA module. The last module, the next module is cost center. In Sage, Sage we have different cost centers. You can manage different cost centers in one company, and you can process your financial reports based on the cost center, like profit and loss, balance sheet, trial balance. This all you can generate based on the cost centers. The cost centers can is useful functions in different way. How the customers want to implement cost center. It can be salesman's wise cost center, or it can be product categorized cost center, or it can be even project wise cost center, or divisional wise cost center. These are all based on the customer's requirement. We can implement it. The Sage 50 software is basically it's a software will support for all kind of industries. The important factor is how we implement the system. So the final last module is the project costing module, which is applicable for construction industries or those who are looking into the project costing. So these are the module which is available in this system. This is useful for the mid segment and small segment companies, purely based on their requirements. and which is not in terms of the turnover or in terms of the that employee strength of the company. It's basically it is for based on the requirements of the customers. So these are the modules. So just I will give you an overall idea about each module, how it works. And before that, let me just tell you some key features which is in the application. Like maybe you all of you aware that this software will support client server based and web based. So it's a cloud based system. Basically, this is cloud. All such softwares are cloud based system. If you wish to go for a cloud system, and you can access the application from anywhere if you have internet connection. So that functionality is available in the system, and if you are planning to go for, you have both the options. If you wish to go for a desktop or client server basis, you can choose client server basis, and if you wish to go for a cloud basis, you can go for a cloud basis. So there may be difference in pricing for the license, that's the only thing, but you have the software is capable for both requirements. Of course, this software is completely integrated with MS Office, which is the latest one is 365. There are a lot of features available in the application to send automatic emails to the customers, sending automatic statement of account, invoice, automatic statement of account, invoices, and quotation. These we can automate in the system. Uh, that is possible through the automation of email, which is possible through the MS Office. So MS Office is completely integrated with the application, not only for the email management, we can even have the automatic backup. The Sage 50 UK edition is capable to manage automatic backup. So we have an option called schedule backup. Maybe you, all of you heard about that schedule, how to schedule backup. We can schedule backup based on the your requirements. Like maybe if you wish to take a backup on every hours, or in a in a 2 times in a day or 4 times in a day. This is all based on your requirement and the size of the hard drive of your server or any other extended drives. So it's an IT, but still software is capable to manage automatic backup. There is no need to take annual backup, and it is in the security level, safe security level. This is the key point in the application. And moreover, we have something called attachments, which is an add-on option in the application for which the software will support unlimited document attachment in the master level or in the transaction level. Okay, so let me just start with AR module, which is starting from customers. Basically, AR is for account receivables for customers. So in Sage, we have three different view in all the modules. Dashboard for the management view. In the dashboard is not just like a display. It is having its drillable facility. If you want to, if you, now hopefully I hoping that you all of you can see the dashboard now. This is AR dashboard, account receivable or customer dashboard. Here you can see that in the light there are two different graphical reporting is there. Let me just go through the age debt reports, which is then the right top. I can see that there is older transactions which is coming up to 800,000 dirhams. If I want to know more about the transactions, I can drill down. So this is a drill down facility here. And here you can see that which all customers transaction is outstanding. which is above 120 days, that is older. If you want to know about any particular customer's outstanding details, again you have drill down facility. From there you can drill down to the individual invoices or credit notes. If you want, again, if you want to know about this particular invoice in detail, you have drill down option again. From the same point, it will lead to the customer master, and from there you can go to the activity. So you can see all transactions here. From here, if you want to open an invoice and see what is the details of the invoice, again drill down option is available. You can go up to the ledger or the final transaction, the very first transaction screen. And if you want to know more about that details of the transactions, we have the option called view transaction, which is also another drill down option. You can see the details of the transactions. You have drill down again. You can go to the root. From this drill down option, you will come to know that which GL code is selected, what is the detail, when it was created, what is the reference number, and net amount, tax code, tax amount, all information there. And if you want to change, edit the transactions, that we have another option in the system, like edit transactions. This is all REST access permission. Based on the access permission, we have two levels of access permission. First one is data entry permission. Next one is approval or posting permission. So every transaction you can restrict permission, just create and waiting for the approval, or wait, then only transaction will be posted. This is available in all the transactions. Now I'm the customer master because I am come to the last drill down screen, which is the customer master. Here you can see a lot of icons in the top, which is called secondary creation. Secondary creation means this Sage 50 software is capable to manage, or it's capable to reduce your workload, or in order to make it more user friendly. From the customer master itself, you can create sales invoice, the first, second icon in the top. You can create order, new order. You can create new projects. So customer related all transactions you can manage in the customer level itself. That means you don't have to switch from the customer master or any master for the master related transactions. If you are into the transaction screen, you don't have to go back. The vice versa, if you are in the transaction screen, you don't have to go back from the transaction screen to create any of this master. So that is the user friendly option which is there in the system. And if you look at the left hand side, you can see the details of the customers with country, VAT registration details, and some contact informations there. And of course, the software will support multi-currency. So you have the option to have different currency, and you have customer will have a different type of terms and conditions like payment due dates. We have different criteria how the payment due date should start, from which day. It can be from the invoice date, or it can be from the first day of next month. Different options are available. Based on that, your customer's due date will be managed in the system. And we have communications, which is one of the key features in the system. Like, you can create new communications. Communications means something like in CRM, the semi CRM available in the application. So whenever you communicate with the customer, of course we have an integrated MS Office option, so that from the system you can directly send email to the customer without depending on your Outlook. You can send from the Sage with your email signature, with the email body and subject and attachment. All will be managed within the Sage system without taking any help from the third party solution like that MS of Outlook, which can be completely managed in the system. So this is something called communication with the customer or some follow-ups. Here you can create if suppose if you are following with the customer for some outstanding. Here you can see the outstanding. It is showing an amount of 7 million. So your username will be listed here. All the username will be listed there. And if you want to follow up with the customer, the method of follow up is an important thing. And what was the outcome of the before the outcome to whom you spoke to. If the contact informations are updated in the system, all the contact informations will be contact name will be available here, and you can start communication. What time you there is a timer option is there. You can start communicating with the customer, so that will be recorded here. The outcome after the communication, you can select the output. What was the output? Call them back. And if there is a follow-up date for the reminder, you can set up the reminder for the follow-up date and what type you should get the reminder. And after the communication, you feel that if you want to change the customer status to close or on a hold or open, you can have the different terms, different status here. If it is closed means then no user will be able to issue a new invoice to the customer. And here in the notes session, you can mention the outcome of the customer, outcome of the communication, and you can save it. So the benefit is this communication will be saved. See, it's saved here. So next time, if a next other user want to check the latest communication, if the first user is on leave, the second user can come to the communication part and he or she can verify the latest communication with the customer, will come to know what was the last commitment. He can open and see the communication. You can see the last commitment, and based on that, you can take the customer, you can take the next step on this man. And the next option is attachments. What I told you that we have two levels of attachments. Every module, every masters is having attachment, unlimited attachment. Or the second level of attachment is transactional level attachment. Here in the customer masters, you can create new folders. You can create new folders and you can attach the documents. There is the option to attach the document. You can attach the maps, you can attach the documents. These all options are there. If you want to attach, you can go to attach electronically. You can attach PDF or any kind of any formats. Any document which is having all the standard formats can be attached here. It can be JPG, Word, or Excel, PDF. So that even if you want to attach a document based on the project, we have attachment in the project module. If you want to attach document based on the invoice, you can attach. You have the attachment in the customer module with that you can attach. You can create n number of folders with order number or invoice number. So you can attach all the document left with that particular order. Next is activity, means you can see the complete activity of the particular customer. We have different type of filtering for the activity in order to make things easy. Searching is a important task for an accountant. Searching out, getting the information, get things done is an important thing for an accountant. So that our safety system is having good capability to manage, to search and get the information quickly. We have different criteria. If you want to search with sales invoice, you can search with sales invoice. If you want to see only outstanding invoice, you can see the invoice which is outstanding for a specific period. You can search. So these are the invoice based on the criteria. All the details can be exported to Excel. We have monthly graph, monthly performance of sales. We have all the orders issued for this customer. We have the list of projects linked to the customer. We have graphical representation of sales with the values. So for this customer, this is the performance in the past year. This is all about the customer master. These masters are almost same. That's why I'm just concentrating on the customer master, and the supplier is a replica of customer. So I don't want to go in detail in supplier master. Supplier is also same. So let me finish this AR module, then I'll move to the other module. Here just I'll explain to you the process flow. In here we have a different view which is called process flow. So from the process flow itself, we will come to know that how the system works. What is the process flow defined in system? It will start from a quotation, from next an order, allocate stock, dispatch orders, update ledger, and invoicing, and customer receipts and chase debt. So if you want to create a new quotation, you can create a new quotation from here. So this process map will help you to understand the process flow configured in the system, and all each users will be able to follow easily. So that let me move to the first module, quotation. I'll just explain to the process flow. Quotation will be converted to order. When you want the quotation, there are some options called mark as one, which is available in the top. Any quotation you can change the status to one or lost, and approve quotation. Then it is available in this sales order. Once it comes to the order, then allocate, dispatch order, allocate items and dispatch order, then it will be converted to invoice. From one sale order, you can have multiple invoicing, and invoice here you can update ledger, this option to post the invoice. So that AR module will start from quotation, issuing quotation. Once the quotation is approved, you'll want the quotation to go for the approval to the sales manager. Once sales manager will approve the quotation, then he will convert to order. From order, store guys will deliver the material or issue the performer invoice from the order. Then finally it will convert to invoice. From invoice, finance team will post the invoice based on the delivery. So once the invoice is posted, then it will go to customer receipts module. Customer receipt is part of the banking. So that I will explain to you in the next module. So from in the invoice module, you can create direct invoice. You don't have to, it's not mandatory to follow the procedure or the process flow from the quotation. You have the option to directly create the invoice from here. You have the option to create credit notes, and you have the option to issue credit note against the invoice. These three functions are there in the invoice module. Just I will show you one invoice, how to create an invoice. Invoice is having two type of option, which is one is invoice and pro forma invoice. You can issue pro forma and invoice in the invoice module. You have two types of invoicing. One is product invoicing, that is basically for the trading companies. Another one is project invoicing, that's for the project oriented or construction or any other kind of customers. Here you can select your customers. Here is showing you will see the customer list here. Here you can see the list of customers. You can search with any criteria with the name or code. If you want to search with the name, you can search with the name. See, if you try age, all the customer name will start with age will be displayed there. You can select the customers. And here is the details you can mention about the project. This is for the project invoice I'm talking about, not the product invoice. I'll show you the product invoice separately. Amount, project value, discount. If you want to mention discount, you can mention discount in value or in percentage. That will be automatically calculated based on the VAT configuration. If the customer is an export customer, we have options to pre-configure whether this customer is an export customer or a local customer. If it is a local, I will configure the 5%, so that tax will be calculated accordingly. From here, if you want to take a invoice printing, you can take the invoice printing. It will lead to the invoice template. You will see your customized templates over here. You can select your preferred template and you can generate the invoice. And another one, if it's a product invoice, you can select the customer with the as a product, and here all the products will be listed over here. You can see the available products, and we can enter. We can select the items, and price will. If the price list is configured, price will automatically updated in the invoice screen. Let me select the second item. So if you want to take a print, you can take a print. So all the customized templates will be listed here. Sample, this is a sample template design. So this is a customized template. So based on the client's requirement, we can design the templates. Just a sample template with the banking information, all this stuff. System will ask you whether you want to update the ledger. Once it is done, the invoicing posting is completed. So this invoice has been posted. Okay. If there is no sufficient stock, then invoice cannot be posted. System will cancel the posting if there is no sufficient stock. So this, and then if you then you go to customer module. Just I want to show you that all transactions are available in the customer module itself. So unlike to other softwares, so in Sage 50 UK edition is having individual transaction screen for each type of transactions. Like refund, there is a separate transaction screen. Write off, there is separate transaction screens. Customer receipt, there is separate transaction screen. This is all available in the customer master. These all for use make it things user friendly. At the same time, these all transactions are available in the banking also. From the bank also, you can make all these entries. So in order to make things simplify, even we can give the access permission, because suppose if you don't want to give the rights to the user to see the bank details, so that we can restrict the banking module, and I can give the some functional screens in the customer modules. These is the flexibility in the application to control the access rights, which I already explained to you that we have two levels of permissions. One is data entry level permissions and another one is approval permissions. So based on that, we can give the permissions to have access to the functionalities or transaction screens in the system. And now I almost I covered the AR module. If you have any questions, you can mention in the questions section.
They can post the questions if they have any questions. There is a question mark on the top screen where you can post your question. Just click on the question mark and you will get a panel where you can post the questions and we will be happy to answer. Let's see if you have some questions.
I think as of now there is no queries. So I'll just continue because I know that you're short of time and I don't want to take much time from you. Just cover up the areas or overall functionalities. And of course, if you have more, if you're interested to see the demonstration in detail, of course, we can arrange on site at your convenient time. Hi, Aisha. How are you? Hi, Aisha. Do you have any query? Any questions? Yes. Okay, Aisha. Now, this is actually export cases, export invoice. So in our system to manage the export customers and local customers. So we have something called tax settings in the system. Tax settings means okay, as per the UAE VAT policy, we have 5 types of taxing. The first one is zero rated, which is one we are talking about now. For the export cases, we have to configure zero rated, which is we used to configure T0, tax zero in Sage accounting software, which is applicable for export cases and zero rated. The second taxation code, which one we this one we will configure for all export customers or international customers. So system will automatically capture 0% in the invoice, and we can configure the invoice without tax in the template. So you can manage invoices for local customers and international customers. So if I talk about the next tax code, which is T1, the next taxation code is T1. We are implementing T1 basically for 5%, which is all local taxable transactions like sales, purchases, and expenses. And the next tax code is T2. The next is T1 after then T2. T2 is basically for local exempted transactions. There is there is notification has been issued for all exempted. We know that we all of you know that what all exempted transactions and what all zero rated. Exempted is basic technically it is zero rated, but it is not, we cannot say that it's a zero rated, it is exempted. So that's why we need to have a different tax code for exempted. Then the next tax code is very important, that is for the import cases, which is called reverse charge mechanism, that we used to configure the next tax code, maybe T3 or T4, any tax code we can configure for that. Reverse charge mechanism, all of you know that the concept of reverse charge mechanism, when you import the item, any material, inventory from or services, goods or services from outside country, we have to book this as an RCM translator transaction. So we can configure RCM in the system, so that system will automatically give you the report, VAT report for the RCM turnover. RCM turnover means RCM output turnover and RCM output tax and RCM input turnover and input VAT. So that it's something like debit and credit will have a same value and it will be nullified. There is no impact in the payable, but system should be able to manage VAT, manage RCM, and we have to submit the RCM turnover and tax as an input and output when you submit return in your FTA portal. Sage UK will give you the complete informations, complete data, complete values, what exactly you want to submit VAT return. Like starting from supply of goods, taxable supply of goods, am I right wise? Zero rated supply with turnover, the Emirates Voice supply with turnover and VAT, and zero rated supplies, RCM output VAT and output turnover. These all together, your output turnover and VAT will be calculated. These all informations are available in Sage in the VAT module. We have a module called VAT here. So the next is input VAT, which is purchase and expenses. So that system will calculate the purchase tax and purchase turnover and expenses and expense turnover and expense VAT paid for the expenses. This will be calculated and will give you the reports from the VAT module. This is the VAT module. Here it is completely automized. Like if you follow the policies, tax policies, and if you set up the tax configuration of the system properly, so that system will give you the payable amount. System will give you the payable amount. Here in the left, here you can see that in the VAT module there are three sessions. First session, prepare VAT return. So you will have your own period of submission. Each customer is having different period of submission. Assuming that my submission period is Jan to April, you can select the period and you can calculate VAT return. If you press calculate VAT return, you are in the right hand side, you can see that VAT due in this period of sale. Here the system will calculate the VAT due in the period, and the fourth option is VAT reclaim for the period, which is the purchase and expense tax. And the finally you can see net VAT to be paid to the customer or reclaimed by you. That is the net payable to the VAT authority. Sorry. And second screen will be, you can do the reconciliation in the second screen. If I process this module, it will take time to process. That's why I'm not trying to complete the sessions here for the VAT. So the next session is reconcile VAT return. That means there you will have your own reports, and from the reports you will come to know that how this VAT claim, input VAT and output VAT is calculated in each transaction wise. And finally, you can submit VAT return in the complete session, which is the third session, complete VAT return. Their system will post the automatic entries. Like when you, for an example, when you post a sales invoice, sales tax control account will be credited, and when you post a purchase invoice, purchase tax or expenses, purchase tax control account or tax control account for the expenses will be debited. So that is the normal entries. So when you submit the return, what system will post it? Sales tax control account will be debited to nullify the tax liability. Purchase tax or expense tax control account will be credited to nullify the tax liability. And the net amount, it can be a debit balance or credit balance or a payable or refund, will be transferred to a VAT liability account. It is an automatic JV will be posted by the system. And the next entry, when you make the payment to the government from the authority, from the bank. In the third session, third screen, you have the option to choose the bank and debit VAT liability. That is the payable amount and credit bank account. This is the accounting concept, the terms which I am just talking about. So that all the financial entries will be posted in the VAT module. So you don't have to make any manual entry, only responsibility for the customer to reconcile the transactions and make the entries properly. If there is something wrong, you have all the options to, system will give you the reconciliation results, and based on the results you can rectify your transactions and run the module for the submission. This is something called automized VAT reconciliations. It's a key functionalities or key module in the system. Okay, next is, okay, we have AP module, which is starting from supplier, then issuing LPO, then issue LPO, which is place order, then receive deliveries, when you receive the deliveries, You can receive fully or partially. You can issue convert GRN to the purchase invoice and posting of invoice. This is the process flow in AP module. We start from suppliers. Suppose this is a transaction. You can use the purchase order. You can select the vendor. If it is for any particular project, you can select the project. Or if the project is not there, you can create a new project from here. So in no time, you have to switch from the transaction screens to create any masters. See, everywhere secondary creations are available. So you don't have to go back. So if there is any master is missing, you can create from there itself. Here you can select your products. Okay, quantity. Price will automatically come from the price list. You can save the purchase order. If you have the rights to issue all access rights, if you have rights, you can order now. If you want to take a print, you can take a print and send email from Sage to the vendor. If yes, you will see the templates. Preview. From there, you can export to PDF or you can send email from the system. Now this order is status is on order. You can see the status on order status. When you receive the deliveries, you can go to receive notes and you can select the order and you can receive partially or fully. You want to take a GRM printing directly. If you want to take the printout, you can take the printout, GRM printout. If you want to send email, you can send email from the system. Remaining is 100. 50 is delivered. Look at the screen here. You can see that it's partially delivered. This order has ordered and partially delivered. If you want to post the partial invoice, you can issue partial invoice. Or if you can complete the delivery and later you can issue invoice. How to issue invoice? There is an option to issue invoice. Here you can issue invoice. While issue invoice itself, if you want to make the payment to the vendor, you can make the payment to the vendor. And you can select the bank, the date of transaction here. You can select the bank. It's a secondary option to give you more flexibility to manage the system. So you can select the bank account and you can make the payment. So this is one entry you can finish invoicing and payments. Or if you don't want to make the payment, you can keep it 0 and you can post the purchase invoice. The purchase invoice will be posted. Okay. Then when you want to make the payment, you can make the payment from supplier module itself because all supplier related transactions are available in the supplier module. See, write-off, refund, contra entries means if you have a customer and supplier, same person, same company as customer and supplier, you can knock off the outstanding. That is called contra entries. You have batch invoicing, batch credit note, supplier payment, all available in the supplier module. At the same time, you have all these options in the banking module also. You have supplier payment option in the bank module, customer refund, remittance, check printing. These all options are available. You have bank transfer from one bank to another bank. You have reconciliation option, bank reconciliation, bank receipt, supplier refund, and setting up recurring entries, automatic entries in the system. So you can, if you have vehicle loan or any type of loans or fixed deposit, you can set up recurring entries. So you can set up how many every 1 month you want to recur, how many times totally. So that system will automatically post the entry. You can mention the amount. Automatically, the system will post the entry up to 25th of June 2021. That's the completion. Whenever if you want to suspend it, you can suspend it. That means pre-closure is also possible in the system. These are all automatic entries. We have many type of automatic entries in the system to manage workload. We have foreign bank revaluation, cash flowing management, and bank statement, check printing, reports. These all options are there. Reports module is available in all the modules. Everywhere it's available. Report is available. Thousands of reports are available in modules. So you can go through different reports. If you just go to the bank module itself, you have see how many reports. In every group, you have different reports. Bank payment reports, bank receipt reports. So that you will have different reports. And this Sage 50 UK edition is having a very nice report writing tool to customize reports. So let me just come to the management MIS reporting, which is available in the financial side. You have the journal entry option and journal reversal option you have, and setting up of prepayments. You can set up automatic prepayments. If you set up prepayments, automatic entry will be posted on monthly basis based on the instructions given in the system. You have accruals and you have budgets. You can set up budgets. So that if you set up budgets, you can set up GL code, GL level budgeting. You can set up budget. We have segmented system in the GL segmentation so that you can select, you can set up the budget based on the GL. And you have the comparison, comparative profit and loss. Actual versus budget. Actual for the period and year to date. Actual GL expenses or GL transaction, budget, budget variance, variance percentage, prior year and current year and year to date. These all informations are available in single report. Then we have profit and loss. These are the management reports. Let me just show you one report. You can select for a specific month or a quarterly basis or half year basis or yearly basis. These are the MIS reports, the P&L report. You have the drill down option. You can go to the drill down. You can use the drill down option. GL code wise. You want to see the local transactions in more detail in GL level. Drill down is also available. These all reports are having drill down facilities here. In the all MIS reports is having drill down facilities. If you go to reports, you have more reports other than the standard reports, like profit and loss monthly breakdown. On month wise, you can get the profit and loss with having the drill down option. Profit and loss, actual prior year and variance. Prior year report. Different type of reports. These are under every report you have, you can see different type of reports. Here is the audit trail, audit log. So if there is any changes, any corrections made, all will be recorded here. Username, edited by whom, edited on. Okay, these all informations are recorded in the system. That will help you to understand, to manage administrator to have an idea about who made these changes, and there will be track for every changes. And as I explained to you that we have something called on drive, view on drive, which is basically useful to attach document with every transactions. Transaction based you can attach document, but you should have an Microsoft 365 installed. Then only we can activate this function. That you can see the top, you can see the view on drive. And of course, you have the reports, audit trail reports, like user level. If you want to see that user A, what are the transactions made for a specific period, you can get all this kind of reports, detailed one, summary, this all different type of thousands of reports available in the system. Next, fixed asset module. Okay, next module is fixed asset module, which I already explained to you that it's an automation to run depreciation. Here you have your own you have fixed asset register. This is called fixed asset register. You can categorize your fixed asset. You can mention the ownership of item, and you can categorize like furniture, fixtures, or computers and equipments, or interior decoration, building, property, whatever. You can categorize your assets and you can get the category wise in fixed asset valuation. And we can set up the depreciation method of depreciation and percentage and balance sheet depreciation, GL code. We need to set up this. Then only automatic depreciation will work. When you run the depreciation, expense account will be expense, P&L expense will be debited and accumulated depreciation will be credited. This entry is the automatic depreciation entry. This will be posted by the system. So that you need to configure the accumulated depreciation GL code and depreciation GL code. This is an important thing here to manage that. So you have valuation, fixed asset valuation, disposal, these all functions are there in this module. And moreover, you have fixed asset register with ownership to who honor and what is the current value. And another thing, every master we have custom screen. If you look into the customer module, see you have many options you can bring into the system. If you want to know something, okay, I want to see that email ID in my screen, you can bring that and you can customize. This option is useful for individual users to customize their screen. If I don't want to see the telephone number, okay, I can remove that. I can bring some other field, because if you you can bring all the options here, but then you have to use the tab to see the complete information. And we have cost center, which I already explained to you. We have cost center wise profit and loss and cost center wise balance sheet. Mainly cost center can be used for this is based on the customer's requirements. Can be used for salesman. Some customers are using for the sales turnover, salesman's management. So this cost center is available in every 100% transactions. So everywhere you can select cost center. Example for the customer. Example for there's a batch invoice. See GL code where it should be credited, and this is the cost center. You can rename cost center whatever name you want. You can rename it. You can select the cost center from here, and if it is a project basis, you can select the project also. If you are managing in projects, so all transaction can be linked through cost center and project. The final module, the last module is projects. Here you can have projects here. So let me just log here. There is no project in this database. Let me just log into the other database so that I can show you the projects there. From the dashboard itself, in the home page, you can see that this is web-enabled application and this is available in your mobile or tab if you have the cloud version and accessible from anywhere. Okay, let me go to the projects. See, these are the projects. This is the list of projects. In the projects, you can see that, okay, the build net, how much build, what is the profit today, price quoted means that is the project value, and total budget means cost budget costing, actual variance and actual cost. And if you want to add more, you can add more information. So in one screen itself, you will have the clear idea about the project status, where we are standing now. We have dashboard also for projects. You can see the committed cost, you can see the project over budget, because these are the project is running over budget. So why it is over budget? You have the drill down option to go through in detail. You can go to the budget and you can see the budgeting details here. See, these are the cost code budgets. If you set up the budget, you can set up the values here. And structure means one, you can have multiple multiple projects under one project, main project and sub project concept. And we have attachment, and you can see the activity. And you have different reports. I didn't go through the reports because of the lack of time. I didn't go through the reports. You have different reports, project profitability, cost code wise in detail. So you can see the total sales, how much billed and what is the cost code wise, each cost code wise costing, and what is the total profitability. of the project. This is a detailed report of projects, sales transactions, and each cost code wise costing. Finally, you will see the project profit is this much, actual cost is this much, total bill is this much. Like that, you will get the profitability. And you have an option called diary here. You can manage your calendars here. So if you are not, if you don't want to use Outlook, you can use all functionalities like Outlook here. You can schedule your meetings, schedule your follow-ups, schedule some, some requirements, some anything you can schedule. It's something called scheduler. Yeah, Aisha was trying to say something. What about the phases of projects? Yeah, phases of project. You can have different type of multiple phases. Like, let me just open one project. This is a project, and these are the phases. Like, you can have different phases. This is some of the sample broadband installation. Something. This is something sample. These are your phases under each project. You can set up projects and phases like that, and every phase will have a budgeting also. You can have budget for this particular phase, maximum cost budgeting for the costing. You can have the costing for the budget. These you can set up unlimited phases and projects. This is all part of the settings which we can do that. And the next question is different phases. There is different installed in Peachtree. Like, there are different phases installed. This is actually a little bit different in Peachtree. Peachtree is actually the software is something single user concept. Actually, concept that the software is designed based on the single user concept. But this Sage 50 UK edition is designed based on the ERP standards, like multiple user environment. This is useful for this can be implemented for a multi-user environment having multiple level of access at the same time, single level of access like Peachtree. And hi Mark, and the first query question is, can I have a copy of this? Maybe you're talking about the Apple download application download link, and we'll be able to provide you that download link. We will able to not the download link until we will give you. But actually, there is no demo demo installation is available, but still we can help you on this matter. We'll look into that. Of course, videos are available. Videos are, if you even we can provide you the videos, and even YouTube. If you search in YouTube, you will get n number of videos. Yeah, because this is one of the flagship product of Sage. Because if you get more videos compared to other applications. Of course, we can also provide you the videos, YouTube videos, to have a more idea about the application. And the next question is, can you show me how to use sales order to posting sales invoice? Of course, I can show you that. I thought, because of the lack of timing, so I haven't go through the process flow. Of course, I can go through the process flow. If you want to see the process flow of, say, SOP, now I am in the SOP module. Now I'm in the SOP module. I'm starting from quotation. Okay, I'll select the customer, and select what item or what services. I can select items, inventory, or non-stock or service. We have all the options in the master. Just I'm selecting item now. Size. Let me select some item which is having available in stock. May select at least 2 items. This is basically for the product quotation. So this is basically for the quotation for the product. Of course, you can have the service item also. Here non-stock items are there, or at the same time service is also there. If it is, let me just say here I can select service item also. Okay. So now I have three items, two products and one service. If I look at the details of the product, here I can see that how many quantities and where the your when you issue the quotation, where your income should be credited. So these all by default it will come based on the default settings in the system. Tax code will be default based on the default settings, and here you can have the cost center or salesperson. How do you want to classify your manage your departments? That is also available there. And if you look at the service item, you have the project information, right? You can enter the number of database about the project information. Unlimited space is there. You can enter here in detail. Okay, rest is same. I'm going to save my quotation and I can send quotation. Let me select the latest one. This is the latest quotation which I created now. Yes, this is the one. From here, the status. Now I have the full rights so that you cannot see the different accesses. Now I am working as a salesperson. So I should have limited access to the sales for the salesperson. Now I have full access. So I will have mark as one. That means I got this order. So my status is changed to one. Anytime I can see that what are the orders. This is won or lost or open or expired. Okay. In every quotation, if you open a quotation, there is expiry date is there. You can set up the expiry date also. That is in the income. So next is now the I order want the order. Now we are restricting this permission. Allocate stock. The technically it is something called allocation, but we can implement this function as an approval for the sales manager. We used to configure this, restrict the permission to only to the sales manager to approve the quotation. Without doing this function, no delivery is possible. So only after the approval, performer invoice can be posted, issued, and delivery can be processed. So now I have approved this. Approval is finished. Now let me come to sales order. I'll be able to see this order here. See, this is the one. I can see the order here. The status is allocated. Because in a given approval comments, we can configure it there. If you want to have the approval commands, I can bring the approval comments also here. Because this has to be customized based on the customer's requirement. I need to change the field name here for the approval comments. Here, these custom fields we can customize. Assume there is an approval comment. We can mention the approval comments. So those all field name can be customized like approval comment. See, assuming that is an approval comment. If you want to change the name right now, I can change the name, but I don't have time to spend on this configuration. That's why I'm not doing the changes. This is approval comments. So in the sales order, it's available here. Now it is see the status is approved, fully approved. Now you can dispatch. Now once it is approved, as a store person, I go to dispatch notes. I'll select the order here. I can dispatch partially or fully. Okay, assuming that I'm dispatching in full. Okay, I select all the items together and I'm going to dispatch. Okay, so dispatch is completed. That means delivery, see the status is complete. Dispatch is complete. Now, if you come to the inventory and order processing, that is the invoicing. I can see the dispatch orders here. See, this is the one. Here it is converted to invoice. In the sales from the sales order, it is converted to automatically. The invoice number is updated here. See 165 invoice reference 165. If you come to invoicing, here you can see that order number. See, sales order number is 2406 in the invoice module. If you look at the sales order module, invoice number is 165. So all are interlinked. From here, in the sales order itself, you can issue the performer invoice. And if you want to issue the goods delivery note, that is also available here. See, this is the dispatched. How many? If there is 10 dispatch, you will see the 10 dispatch orders over here. If you want to see the details, you can see the detail, which all the item delivered. And if you want to take a printout, you can take a printout. See, like the customized template, you can see the printout here. You can take the printout and or you can send email from the system, the delivery note. Then it comes to the invoicing. See, I can see the invoice here. I can open the invoice. If I want to make any changes here, I can make the changes because I'm the invoicing now. And if everything, you can enter the LPO number here. If you have the LPO number here, we can enter the LPO number. And more information is there in the order. Delivery details, notes are there, custom fields are there. You can enter the custom fields there. So from here, you can take the invoice printing. You can take this, the print option is there, or you can save the invoice. And finally, if you want to post it, you can update ledger. Here's the option, update ledger. So the sales order processing is completed from quotation to invoice. So invoice is posted. These are the records of the invoicing. These are net amount is 722, taxation amount is 144, and gross amount is 867 for the invoice. That is the process flow. Then you can receive the payment on whatever, you can continue like that. This is the process flow. The same process flow is there in the purchase order processing, POP module also. Starting from LPO, GRN, purchase invoice, and posting of purchase invoice. This is all about the module. This is actually, it is not due to the time concern, I haven't go through in detail. But if you have any queries, you can ask me right now. Now my demonstration in terms of the software side is finished. Quotation and sales order has no effect to the nominal codes. There is no effect to the nominal code. Quotation and sales order. Quotation having no effect to even inventory, but sales order is having effect to the inventory. Okay, and the invoice will have the effect to the GL codes, financials. Yes, data import is possible. We can import all the master. Normally we used to import. We have already implemented many of our existing Sage US edition customers to UK. Normally how we prefer in order to avoid the workloads or the scope of work, to reduce the scope of work, we advise to migrate all masters like customers, suppliers, projects, GL codes, chart of account, and all customer open invoices, that means unpaid invoices as of the cutoff date. By example, 31st of December 2017, all open invoices, and for the suppliers, all open invoices, and the trial balance as of 31st December, which can be migrated through Excel. If you can provide the information in Excel, it is fine. Otherwise, we can generate from the Sage 50 if you are using Sage 50 US edition, because we were implementing Sage 50 US edition. Now we stop that, but still we can generate the information easily from pull out the information from US edition, and we can format as per the template, and we can import it. This is part of the scope of work, the implementation. At the same time, if you don't want to migrate, for us to migrate, you can manually, there is an option to enter opening balance of customer, suppliers, and trial balance manually. I just show you that if you open any customers, see, in every master there is OB entry. If you see that it's a small icon OB, you can enter the opening balance of open invoice and open credit notes customers, and is applicable for suppliers and nominal code, GL level, GL codes, any GL code. Let me open any GL code. Here is OB. You can enter the opening balance of GL code also. So you can manage. At the same time, we used to take this data migration, and we used to provide the live data based on the customer's requirement, and you can, after the training, you can start using the system with templates, with your invoice templates, LPO templates, and check printing. If you want to have check printing, we can, or that also we can configure it. But this is all part of the implementation. We need to design the template for that. That's part of the data migration. And if you have some more, any further queries, you can ask me now. Thanks, Aisha. Thanks for your time. Okay, I hope hoping that I resolve, or I have give you clarification for all your queries. Moreover, if you have any queries, you can write an email to us, our support division, and we'll come back to you for any clarification. Moreover, if you wish to have a detailed demonstration, we can have a detailed demonstration as well.
So, thank you so much, Anil. That was a very informative session. I hope you guys have cleared all your doubts and queries. But in case if you have any more doubts and queries, you can always drop us an email, and we will reply back to you with the queries. And yeah, so the next, yes, Mark with next step. Next step, I will be emailing you a list of features of like as Anil went into detail about the Sage 50 features, I will be sending you an email where there will be all the list of features which you can see what all features are important and compulsory for you. And yeah, I will be sending also emailing you more details about how will the procedure go of getting the software on board. So yeah, so after this, thank you so much for your time, and I will get in touch with you through emails. Thank you, Mark.